Hello people of the web and YouTube, DTPK here, and welcome back to another DIY tutorial video. In today's tutorial video, I'm going to be teaching you bros how to make a jewel case or a DVD shoelace shelf. Anyway guys, let's just get to this thing. First of all, you're going to need some shoelaces. I highly recommend using some bland, maybe black and white shoelaces, and especially really long ones, because the more bland they are, the more professional looking it's going to be, but you can do this with any colored shoelace you like. The other key items we're going to need are either some mighty hooks or some bobby pins if you want to get real MacGyver on this thing. First of all, with the bobby pins, you're going to want to rip the ends off and fold them into the shape of the mighty hook as shown here, or you can just jab them straight into the wall as are, just you have to rip off the rubber caps first. The second item we're going to need is either some dowel rods or, I forgot what these are called, barbecue stirrers. In my DIY I used barbecue stirrers, but I'm highly probably going to change them out with the dowel rods because these will last twice as long, I heard. But yeah, the next thing you're going to need is either some kind of marker or pencil to write on the shoelace if you plan on tying the knots in to secure your DVDs. But if you don't want to tie knots in your shoelaces and you possibly want to use the shoelaces again later, you can use bottle caps. Surprisingly, I tried this out just recently with my last shelf I made, and they seem to work really well. You can adjust them just like a buckle on a belt. It's really simple. And anyway bros, let's just get to the tutorial. Alrighty bros, the first step here is to either undo your shoes, take off your shoelaces, or buy a pair of new shoelaces, which I highly recommend because they'll come out nice and clean. But yeah, anyway bros, you want to take out your shoelaces and make sure they're really long ones. These are only 36 inches, so I'm probably only going to hold in maybe 2 or 3 jewel cases. And I'm guessing around 2 or 3. And the first step here is you want to tie the ends off, but if you have a hard time doing this like I most likely will, you can hot glue the ends together right where the inlets are at, and they'll kind of melt the plastic together, and they will stay together a lot longer than the way I do it. But yeah, if you want to make it look like more traditional or something, like they would have been handmade, tie them, it looks a lot better and comes out a lot cleaner, trust me. But it is a really difficult thing to tie right at the ends of these things and to get them even. And that's the key here. You want to get these things as even as can be. And well, I may have just got these as even as I can get them, so I'm just going to pull them nice and tight like that, making sure they're not going to come undone. But like I said, if you want to do it a little bit differently, try hot gluing the ends together. Maybe they'll fuse and they'll hold a lot stronger. But yeah, if you do it this way, there's a chance you're going to get them slightly uneven, and that will mess up your DVD case. You'll have to put one of these in higher or lower. You'll see what I mean when we get to hanging these things on the wall. But first of all, that's the first step, just tie your shoelaces. Alrighty bros, we're on to step 2 now, just 2 more parts away from beating this DIY. What you want to do here is you either want to have your wall mounts in your wall, or you want to have your shoelaces out on the table and a weight on the other end of them. What you want to do is you want to put your jewel case in the strings as shown here, and you want to just pull your jewel case back as far as it can go without dragging your weight along with it. And when it's pulled all the way back, you want to take your little highlighter doodad here, let me just get around my camera, and you want to mark off right where the end of the jewel case is and tie a knot. There are many different ways to tie a knot, so just use your own and use whatever you feel comfortable with. I personally suck at tying knots, so I'm just going to skip right on to the second method, which is to use bottle lid caps, or whatever the hell they're called, bottle tabs. First of all, to do this method, it's pretty simple. It's kind of like putting a belt buckle on, actually, in a way, which I'm kind of really terrible at doing that, to be honest. You want to get at your bottle cap kind of smoothed out so it doesn't tear into the string. These ones aren't, I just got them out of a bin, so they're probably going to tear up my shoelace pretty bad. I'm probably not going to be mounting this one on my wall. But what you want to do is you want to drag your soda tab all the way down to the bottom like so. Go in and out, interweave them. And eventually you will pull it tight like so. Hopefully I don't mess my string up. And it will look like this. Now from here you want to put your DVD case back in and just tighten the bottle cap onto the jewel case like this. Now this is only needed if you're doing the bottle tab method, but if you want to do knots instead, go on right ahead. It looks a lot more cleaner and professional in my opinion. It's just a lot harder to do that, just saying. But if you use the soda tabs, what you can also do to kind of hide the soda tabs is to invert the same method, but then cover them up with the jewel cases. As you see, if I put another jewel case in here, it would cover up the tab. But unfortunately, I did this kind of backwards and half-assed, so the tab's on the front of the jewel case. But yeah, you want to repeat this method of either putting soda tabs on one after another, or tying knots until you complete your chain of jewel cases or DVDs, whatever you decide to use. Anyway guys, I'm gonna finish up this shoelace strand jewel case holder thing, and I'll meet you bros on to the final step. Alrighty guys, we're on to the final few steps here. What we gotta do now is either cut the dowel rods to size or the barbecue stirs to size. What you want to do is leave about an inch on each side of the stirs or the dowel rods. And after you get that done, you want to poke some holes in your wall, either using a push pin or a nail, anything you can find, and stick your bobby pins or mighty hooks into the wall. And that should be about it. You have a nice little DVD stand rack jewel case holder thing, and it actually looks kind of professional. It holds up pretty well too, even with my ceiling fan on, so you don't have to worry about it blowing away or any of your DVDs falling off. And when you want to like easily carry all your DVDs away, you just stack them all together, put them on one little stand, and you just take them with you. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for this tutorial, and I really hope you bros enjoyed today's video. DTBK signing off. Peace.
Adjust it. More finer floating. I didn't have much ink.
You basically get to limit the amount of kilobytes your upload's going at. So let's say YouTube